crimes caught on CCTV. Greg, the first of which, quite a violent robbery in Limerick.
It is very violent robbery from Raheen in County Limerick in a shop from the 23rd of November last at about 2:30 in the afternoon. Now that's the radar we're hoping to identify tonight. We're not going to identify it from these pictures, obviously. As we can see, he's armed with his shotgun, and we just have a look at what actually happened on the day. So when the raider came into the shop, straight away he pushed one of the staff members and a customer to the ground. He then went towards another staff member, dragged her by the hair onto the ground. Very violent robbery. Dragged that staff member down. Then he went in behind the counter to where the tills were. Now he opened up the tills and he did get a sum of cash. We can see the staff members trying to stay in the ground. We also have more footage here of some of the staff trying to get away from him and some of the customers lying on the ground, obviously very frightening, with that man armed with a shotgun in behind at those tills. Now, when he got the cash, he began to leave the shop. Again, he points the shotgun at that staff member before he leaves, and he did make his getaway with a sum of cash. And we have footage of him going around the side of the lane, but very violent,
very
terrifying.
Very violent. It really was. You don't have, as you say, any image better than this one.
No.
Somebody might recognise something from the way the man's walking, his gait, the way he's holding himself, or more likely, information about this.
Yeah, well, as always with these ones, it's information we really need, because we don't expect people to recognise them from those photos. As you said, maybe they will from the clothes and the way he holds himself, but someone out there might know something about that robbery that occurred in Limerick last year.
Moving on then now to not one, but two robberies from the same bookies in Malborough Street in Dublin.
That's right, same bookies, same person, as we'll see now in a moment. The first piece of footage we're going to show, that's the man there. Now that's two separate incidents, one from the 24th of June last year at about 7:30 in the evening, and a second incident in the same Bookmakers on Marlborough Street from the 27th of November last at 7:15. So we'll just take a look at the footage we have. This is the one we showed before, when he came into the Bookmakers here. He approached the counter, he threatened the staff with a handgun, or it looked like a handgun, and eventually the staff threw some money onto the ground. He picked it up and he left. But we got some really clear footage and pictures of him as he was making his way out of this Bookmakers, which we'll show in a moment.
Well, which we showed on the programme before this one, and surprisingly we didn't get a name, but now here we are in November.
This is November. A day after this programme aired in November, he went back into the same Bookmakers. Almost the same thing happened. He threatened the staff member with a gun and made away with a small sum of cash. But that's some of the best photos I think we've ever had on the CCTV.
You ask how we can be so sure that it's the same man. That's how we can be so sure. It really couldn't be anything other than the same person.
No, it's so clear. So hopefully tonight we'll get a result and maybe progress two of those two cases there.
Moving on then to a pickpocket in Grafton Street in Dublin.
That's right. Now this is from the 19th of August, just after 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Grafton Street, as you said, Philip. This is the woman that we want to identify tonight who's involved in this theft from a person. We'll just take a look at the footage of what we have from inside this shop. So just to explain what happens, there's a woman wearing a red top with a green jacket just beside this person who we want to identify. So what happens is she takes a hanger with clothes on it, and she uses this hanger to conceal her hand and her arm, and this enables her to approach this woman very close to her, try and open up her handbag and take her purse. Now she's very close, as we can see, and the woman in the green top does turn around in a moment, and this woman with the black cardigan or the black top backs away. So just now she pretends she's looking at some clothes, but it doesn't deter her. She again approaches the woman with that green jacket, gets really close to her, uses the clothes to hide her arm, hide her hands, and so no one can see what she's doing. And eventually she did get the handbag open, and she stole the purse from that woman. So we took some photos from it just now. She just has the purse and she leaves the woman alone then. So here's the photos we took. I think they're clear enough. I think someone could recognise that woman from it, and we might get a result on that tonight.
Hopefully we will get an identification on that, as you say. But the other thing that it underlines is exactly how much rummaging you can do in somebody's bag before you will actually notice. So,
and that's shortened down, so that was a good maybe 20-30 seconds of her right beside her. So just maybe, you know, your personal space, be aware of it if you're in shops.
Zip up the bags.
Zip up the bags,
Probably it's a good idea. All right, finally then, a theft from a phone shop in Waterford.
That's right. Now there's one person involved with this theft. It's quite a short piece. It's from the 20th of November last year at 5:40 in the evening on Barron Strand Street in County Waterford, and this is the man we want to identify. So we'll just take a look at the footage we have from this phone shop. Now when he comes in, the display wall's on the left. He picks up 5 phones that are attached with security wires, but he just grabs the phones as hard as he can. Now it takes him a couple of moments, but he does manage to break those wires, and he left with 4 smartphones, because he dropped one on the way out, as we can see there. But as we know, they're quite expensive, those smartphones. So he got 4 of them, and there's the photos we took from our CCTV. So maybe someone will help us in identifying that man tonight.
Okay, now obviously we don't have the best of images from the very first,
Not from the first one, no.
but let's do a re-show of the others and just recap. Will we?
Yeah, we'll just have a look at some of the photos. Obviously, the Marlborough Street one with the two images from the Bookmakers is probably our best one of the night. So we'll show that again, that man who was involved in 2 robberies. And next is the woman who was in the shop in Grafton Street who took the purse from the woman's handbag. And lastly, that man again who took the phones from the phone shop in Waterford.
Well, we really have to get some positive identifications of at least 2 of those. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that.